Welcome back to Aeons and Legacy. We're playing Chapter 1, The Ordeal, and we're getting very close to the end, I think. We only have 3 more Nemesis cards to go. 1 assist card. Death Maiden down to 3 health. Astria down to 2. So, yeah, let's just shuffle them up and see what happens. And we have the Maelstrom down to 40 health. We also have Desmodia's powering up to deal 40 damage. So if we can hang in there, Desmodia should be able to finish it off. Alright, that is shuffled up. Turn order. First player is going to be Astria. Okay, unfortunately, as you can see, Astria's got no prepped spells. But let's go to Astria's play area. Have her take her turn. Alright, it's Astria's turn. No prepped spells. So we're going to take a look at her hand. She's got 2 Sparks, Branching Radiate, Ethereal Hand, Incinerating Fist. Well, she's going to prep her 3 spells. Why not? And then she's got 2 for Branching Radiate. If you have 2 or more prep spells, gain an initial. So she's going to get 3 Ether for this. And with 3 Ether, once again, she might as well go ahead. She's going to get Warping Haze. And finally, she's going to play the Ethereal Hand. Any ally draws 2 cards. Over we go to Death Maiden to draw 2 cards. Alright, and Death Maiden's going to draw 2 cards. Awesome. 2 cards. Death Maiden draws are a couple more crystals. So now she's got 2, 3, 4, 5 Ether for crystals, a Spark, Gravity Node, Neural Weave. Alright, not bad at all. Back to Astria to finish off her turn. Alright, that's the end of Astria's turn. We can put the cards in any order. We'll put them that way. Drawing 5 new cards for her next hand. 1, 2, 3. She's got 4 crystals. We're going to flip over her deck. She's going to get 1 more. 5 crystals. Okay, 5 crystals for her next hand. And over we go back again to turn order. I hope we can pull this off. Turn order. Next we have Death Maiden. Alright, over we go to Death Maiden to have her take a turn. And for Death Maiden's turn, she has a Spark spell. She's going to cast that immediately for 1 damage against the Temple Cutter. 3 health down to 2. We've almost gotten rid of it. No more spells prepped. So we're going to take a look at her hand, which is extensive. She's going to put the Gravity Node in Open Breach 1. She'll put the Spark Open Breach 2. And that's all the spells she has. And this is probably not of much use for her. Focus any player's breach. Well, we can't. Any player may prep a spell in hand. Well, she's going to play it for herself, and then she'd prep Spark from her hand. So you do as much of the card as you can, because it's not going to do anything for Astria. That leaves her 2, 3, 4, 5 Ether. And with 5 Ether, what does she want with 5? I think, well, it doesn't matter at this point. She's going to go ahead and get another Gravity Node for 5. Why not? That goes in there. Putting the cards in any order. We're going to put them this way. She's going to draw 5 new cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for her next hand. And she's got Warping Haze, Incinerating Fist, and 3 crystals. Alright, back again we go to turn order. Back to turn order. All we need to do is have Desmodia's Flare trigger, blow this Death Star up. Come on, turn order, Nemesis. Well, you knew that was coming. So we're going to take 1 off of here, down to 1 charge. We want this to trigger, it's the good one. Temple Critter immediately persistent. Any player suffers 2 damage and discards a card from hand. We will have Astria take 2 damage, 4 health down to 2. And she's going to discard a card from hand. She's going to discard 1 of her 5 crystals. Okay, that takes care of the Temple Critter. And yes, I almost forgot putting a card here, so I don't forget. And this one's going to lose a power 3 down to 2. Power 3. Each player suffers 6 damage. That'll kill or knock both of us out, losing us the game. Now it is time for the card. What in the... what? 40 health? Oh my god, Bladius. Immediately, the player with the fewest open breaches suffers 2 damage. Well, there's a tie. So we're going to have that happen with Death Maiden. She's going to go from 3 health down to 1. Wow, holy man, that's that's nasty. Holy. Persistent, the player with the fewest open breaches suffers 2 damage. Okay, that's a persistent effect. 40 health. Okay, that's ridiculous. I'm not even going to put the dice on there because I don't think we're going to need it. We're going to, well, if I need to track damage on that monster, I will. So we have now Astria 2 health, Death Maiden at 1. The nice thing, though, is I do believe the second that this is destroyed, we win the game. And so the next time the Nemesis goes, it's going to trigger Desmodia's Flare. I think. Pretty sure. I might have to check the rules one last time just to make double sure of that. Alright, turn order. Who is up next? It is Astria. Okay, Astria's turn. So let's go over to her and have another turn for her. Alright, it is Astria's turn, and yes, indeed, I looked in the rules, and it looks like we are victorious the second the Nemesis goes to 0 health, which means, we'll see what it means here in a second. Alright, she's got 3 spells. She has Incinerating Fist, deal 3 damage, and 2 sparks. She's going to cast her 2 sparks first, just to get them out of the way. That's 2 damage, one after the other, against the Temple Cutter. The Temple Cutter is now defeated and out of here, so gone is that minion. But we still have Bladius. Wow, 40 health. That's ridiculous. But anyway, I don't think we're going to have to worry about him so much. We do have Incinerating Fist, and we are going to do the Incinerating Fist 3 damage against the Maelstrom, knocking it down to 37. Just extra insurance, because I don't know, I don't trust this game. The 40 damage might be something else, although it definitely says deals 40 damage to the Maelstrom. So, but the assist card might have something else to say. Alright, we're going to be playing cards now for Astria. She's got 1, 2, 3. She has 4 ether. And with 4 ether, I don't even know really what to do with 4 ether. We may, we'll go ahead and get another Incinerating Fist. Why not? We'll just ramp up on the spells. And that's going to be the end of her turn. Putting the cards in the order, which will be that order. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards for her next hand. Crystal, Warping Haze, Incinerating Fist, Gravity Node. All good stuff. Back we go now to the turn order deck. It's turn order deck time. And who do we have? We have the Nemesis. Alright, well, I'm going to put the Nemesis card down here, but I don't even think we're going to get to it because this triggers. Boom, it has 0 on it. Desmodia's Flare is going to trigger. Assist. Okay, we do assist, then Desmodia deals 40 damage to the Maelstrom. Alright, so we get the assist first. And the assist is Desmodia's Bombardment. Desmodia continues to rise in the air, radiating so brightly it's difficult to look at her. You did well buying us time. Now I can end this. Take care of Gravehold. The cavern walls are rocked by their core as Desmodia releases all of her stored energy at Maelstrom. Whoa. Okay, well, that's the final assist. And we continue on in the card. Desmodia deals 40 damage to the Maelstrom. And I do believe that's enough to knock the stuffing right out of it. It only has 37 health. Taking 40 away is going to be -3. And we'll just call it 0. Maelstrom is crushed and defeated. And so we're not going to get to the next cards because we now have the victory condition. We are at 0. Alright, let's take a look at our Chapter 1 introduction card and see what it tells us to do in this situation. And here's our chapter card, and it says, if at the end of the game versus Maelstrom, if you won, Read the back of this card. If you lost, read the front of LO4. Well, we're going to be reading the back of this card because we were victorious. Barely. That was brutal. Chapter 1 Conclusion. You watch from the edge of the caverns as Desmodia faces off against Maelstrom, one bright light against the terrible darkness. Luckily, you manage to do the impossible, hold off Maelstrom's minions long enough to safely evacuate Gravehold. The survivors huddle behind you, terrified as Desmodia erupts before them. The entire cavern shakes and collapses, towers fall, and buildings crash down upon Maelstrom, burying it under a mountain of rubble. Your home, Gravehold, is no more. At least you led many of its citizens to safety. And now we read the back of card LO4. And here we have the back of LO4. That's the conclusion. Chapter 1 continued. Gravehold is gone, lost beneath the rubble. Along with your friends, teachers, Desmodia, and most of the other mages, you recognize Mist and Malistar among the survivors, tending to the wounded. Zaxos is among them, his eyes hollow. This is your fault, Mist screams at him, tears in her eyes. Zaxos backs away slowly. I didn't mean to, I was only trying to protect us. His words become unclear as a dark breach opens behind him. Close it, Zaxos, Brahma shouts. I beg you. Zaxos vanishes into the void, his last words echoing in the tunnel. I'm sorry. I wonder what we do next. And I'm going to end off my series here for Chapter 1, The Ordeal. So I'm using a crystal card to block off the bottom of the text here. Some instructions for basically going into the second chapter, which I will do at a later date. Anyway, we have, it takes a true ordeal to access your inner power, Brahma explains, while others search for survivors. You will train with me. Only then will you be able to serve the survivors of Gravehold. So I'm going to zoom out, and we're going to wrap up our series, which was Chapter 1, The Ordeal of Aeons End Legacy. And I quite liked it, and we were one step away from losing. Really, really close. And that's where I'm going to leave it off. So we've, I guess we successfully helped survivors of Gravehold. Gravehold is destroyed. I guess that's why this is looking like a big broken up rift of destruction. But we did manage, Desmodia managed basically to take down the Maelstrom and have us win the game. So I quite liked it. So we'll see what happens when we get to Chapter 2 in the future. So thanks so much for watching along. Thanks for your comments, subscriptions, likes. Really appreciate it. Join me next time for another playthrough series. It won't be this, of course. I will be doing some other things in between, continuing the legacy of this game. So, yeah, thanks so much, and we'll see you in the next playthrough series.